Hello everyone, welcome to another story. This is called The Gizzard of Gauze. It's based on the Walmart marketplace. A few of the products in the story are from walmart.com. And so if you get a chance to visit walmart.com, feel free to look up some of the products. It's really fascinating. All right. This story has been turned in to the Walmart marketplace. There's a few corrections and things, but otherwise it's very similar. You will hear the dialogue similar to the movie. The only difference is the characters have changed, the locations have changed, and it's kind of quirky. Here we go. Dorothy Kale came bouncing down the aisle between the pet foods and the hair care products. Dorothy bent down and petted Total's box. "Did she hurt you?" "She tried to, didn't she?" "Come on, we'll go tell Aunt Jackie and Uncle Funky." When she got to the hair care product aisle, Aunt Jackie and Uncle Funky were trying to count the peeps. Dorothy bounced over. 3, 4, 5, 6. "Aunt Jackie, you won't believe what Al Mulch said she was going to do to Total. She said she was going to..." "Not now, Dorothy. This candy shelf came loose and the peeps fell off, and we're trying to count them." "Oh, the poor little marshmallows." After Dorothy left so her uncle and aunt could count the peeps, she stood near a misplaced pack of Skittles. She thought to herself aloud, "Somewhere over the Skittles, nothing bad will happen to you. Only sweet things and good dreams. No one is mean or rude. Too bad we are not over the Skittles." After Aunt Jackie and Uncle Funky were done counting the peeps, Uncle Funky went to fix the shelf. Just then, El Mulch came up to the shelf. "Mr. Hair Care, I need to speak to you about Dorothy. I'm all but lame from the scratch on my bag." "You mean she scratched you? That doesn't sound like Dorothy." "No, her blasted pet cereal box." "Oh, she scratched her pet cereal box. Why do I bother talking to you? You're as dumb as a fence post." "You would know. You're probably made of fence posts." "Where is your wife?" "Probably listening to songs on the Walmart radio or something." El Mulch knocked on the shelf until Aunt Jackie said for her to come up. Uncle Funky came in behind her. She showed Uncle Funky the paper summons and explained the story. "He got in my aisle. He shook his box and scared the bird feeders off the shelves, and then he chased them around. Then when I jumped at him, he threw bran on me. My bag has a rip right there, and it says clear as day that I am allowed to take him." Dorothy saw El Mulch upon the shelf and became angry and scared. She called up to them, "Oh, you can't! You mustn't! Don't let her take him, Aunt Jackie, please. He doesn't mean to be annoying. He's just cereal. He's really a gentle brand of cereal. He gets soggy with milk really easily." "He's really gentle, with gentle people, that is," Aunt Jackie said, giving El Mulch the stink eye. "Well, it's legit. We have to let her take him," her uncle said. Dorothy glared at El Mulch as she came down the shelf, with Uncle Funky coming soon after. "Oh, you wicked old witch! I'll make you gassy for this." "Hush, child, and give me your cereal box." She held out a shopping bag, and Uncle Funky put him in it. Dorothy began to weep and looked up at her uncle. "You are rotten and mean, and I'm never going to forgive you. Never, never." Dorothy bounced to her aisle and began to cry. Just then, she saw her pet cereal, Total, coming up the aisle. "You came back. You got away. She'll be looking for you. We've got to run away." As she was running away, she met an 8-ball along the way, who was sitting in the middle of the breakfast aisle. A sign sitting near him said he could tell the future. Can you really tell the future? Yes, definitely, he replied. Elm Mulch is a mean woman. Don't you think so? She asked the 8-ball. As I see it, yes. Aunt Jackie is probably worried about me. I shouldn't have been mean. We should go back, Total. Signs point to yes, he said. Thanks, 8-ball. See you around. The lights flickered in the store, and the candy shelves shook. That's when the Twizzlers began heading towards the hair care aisle. Funky, there's a Twizzler coming. It's a family pack, too, Aunt Jackie said. Funky shouted to everyone, brace yourselves. Get under the shelves. We need to get Dorothy. Jackie cried aloud. No time. Get under the shelf. Dorothy! Just then, Dorothy saw the flickering lights and realized what was happening. Oh no, it's a Twizzler. I gotta get back there. They might need me. The wind is too strong. I better head for the coffee can. In the breakfast aisle, there was a coffee can that they sometimes used if they couldn't get to the storm shelter. She had just gotten under the lid, and she was trying to close it when a bottle of coffee creamer hit her and knocked her out. Just then she awoke and saw the can flying through the Twizzler and Total flying around also, along with some Peeps and Elm Mulch, who turned into a bottle of witch hazel. And then the can made a clang on the floor of the baking aisle. When she came out, she heard laughter, but saw only drinking cups sitting still. Dorothy looked around, and then she looked at Total. I don't think we're in the produce aisle anymore. She suddenly looked up and saw a yellow bag coming on a bubblegum bubble. Dorothy was wide-eyed and stepped back. Who are you? A beautiful woman in a yellow gown with a yellow crown and white hair smiled. Why, I'm Splenda the Witch of the Sucrose. Are you a witch who is functional or expired? I'm not a witch at all. I'm a salad leaf. Or is that the witch? That's not a witch. That's Total, my cereal. Well, I'm confused because the Munchkin Cup says there's a new witch who killed the witch of the yeast. There's the coffee can, and here you are. So what they want to know, are you functional witch or an expired witch? I already told you, I'm not a witch. I'm a salad leaf. It's okay to move around now. She's not a witch. Oh my, look at all the Munchkin Cups. They're so colorful. Just then, a bottle of witch hazel landed with a loud thump in the aisle. Who killed my cousin? Was it you? I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Maxwell House is just good to the last drop. Witch Hazel glared at her. I can drop stuff on people too. But you're Witch Hazel. You help people, don't you? Only when we're not out of date. I'm expired. They forgot to move me. Aren't you forgetting the ruby grapefruit slices? Splenda asked. The grapefruit slices, of course. As she approached her sister's slices, she looked over at Splenda. Where did they go? Splenda pointed at Dorothy. There they are, and there they'll stay. Give them back to me or I'll be gone before a Maxwell House drops on you, too. I'll get you, my Leafy, and your breakfast cereal, too. You need to get to the Gizzard of Gauze in the Isle of the Emerald Nuts before it's too late. Simply follow the yellow chip road. Dorothy nodded. Thank you so much, and see you soon. She followed the yellow chip road to the dairy aisle and saw some yellow chips lying in different places along the way. Just then, she ended up near the milk coolers, where there was a pack of drinking straws. That way is a good way, a voice said out of nowhere. Did those straws just point? That way is a good way, too, he said, pointing to the other direction. You did point and speak, didn't you? Are you confused? I'm not sure. I don't have a brain. Or a milkshake. Or anything. Well, I'm on my way to see the Gizzard of Gauze to get home. What is it you'd ask the gizzard for if you went to see him? I'd like to have a chocolate milkshake to sit in. Well, come to the emerald nut aisle with me, and the Gizzard of Gauze might be able to help you. As they were passing by the nut aisle, as they were passing by the next aisle, Dorothy saw a can. It's a can! A can made from tin! Why, you're so perfect. No dents or anything. I'm not perfect. Read my label if you think I'm perfect. Gauze artichokes. No hearts. Oh dear, you haven't a heart. And there's nothing I can do about it either. Why don't you come with us to the Gizzard of Gauze? I'm sure he can give you a heart. Just then, they came to the breakfast aisle. It's awful colorful down this aisle, Dorothy said. Do you suppose there are any wild cereals in here? Oh no, just the wild berry cereal. But mostly Lion Coffee, Tony the Tiger, and, I don't know, maybe a misplaced honey bear. Oh my. Lion Coffee, Tony the Tiger, and honey bears? Oh my. The Lion Coffee looked at the items in his aisle. What are you doing in my aisle? Sorry, we didn't mean to make you mad, the tin can said. I'm not mad, dude. I'm just asking. We are trying to get to the Gizzard of Gauze, Dorothy said. For what? Well, I'm trying to get home. He wants a chocolate milkshake, and he wants a heart. Is there anything you need? Keurig. Courage? No, Keurig. I want to be part of the Keurig coffees. Oh, I've never heard of Keurig before. So you think this gizzard could help me out or not? Well, let's find out. Oh my, I see it. It's right there. The emerald nuts. Right there. Let's bounce. Just then, she slid through a spill of poppy seed dressing and fell asleep. Oh no, she's wilting. Splenda, who only the readers know appeared, gently spritzed her with water, and soon Dorothy woke up. What happened? You stepped in poppy seed dressing and you fell asleep, said the straw man. This time they stepped around it, and then they bounced to the Gizzard of Gauze. The package of gizzards stood up and pressed itself against the package. The Gizzard of Gauze spoke in a deep voice. Who are you? Dorothy quivered. Please, sir, we are humble patrons seeking your help. I'm Dorothy Kale. This is Drinking Straw Man, Tin Can, Lion Coffee, and of course, Total, my cereal. Silence, you stinky salad leaf. Hey! Step forward, Drinking Straw Man. The straw man approached with his straws shaking. Yes, your gizzardry. I would like to have a milkshake. Or a brain. Whichever is easier. Where would you put a brain if you had one? Wouldn't it just fall out? Get out of my face. Step forward, Tin Can. The Tin Can wasn't scared. He was just intimidated. If you please, I would like to have a heart. Why are you artichokes with no hearts? I don't know, just how I was made. Once I give you a heart, what will you do with it? Fall in love with a soup can? I don't know. It's possible. You know how many kids you'll have? How many? 10. The gizzard laughed. But a heart would be wasted on you, don't you think? No, I don't think so. I want a heart. It's not too much to ask. Oh, be quiet, you scrap metal. Step forward, Lion Coffee. As soon as he got to the gizzard, he fell over and his contents spilled out. Dorothy was upset by the whole scene and shouted at him. How dare you? How dare you make his can spill out? He came to you for help. So I run this place how I want to run this place. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Look, it's quite simple. All I want you to do is defeat the witch hazel of the pharmacy, and then you can have your desires. But she's expired. She might kill us, Dorothy said. Well, I'm sure all of you can help each other, and will do just fine. You must be spoiled, because you are very rotten. Come on, guys, let's go. We have to defeat the witch. The Lion Coffee didn't see the point. Why? Can't we just, forget about what we want and go home? No, she said firmly. I want my wish. I want to go home. I don't live in Gauze. Well, you guys go ahead. I don't really need to be a Keurig that much. He tried to run away, but the others grabbed him. Why do you need me? The more hands we have, the less work we have to do. They went over to the pharmacy, and the witch hazel saw them approaching. She pointed at them and looked over at the monkey butt powder. Seize them! The monkey butt powder went over and sprinkled Dorothy with the powder until she disappeared. Total disappeared, too. Okay, so what's the plan? The scarecrow looked over, or the straw man looked over at Dorothy, but she was gone. She's gone. So is Total. What will we do now? Dorothy was now gauze wrapped around a bottle of peroxide. She wiggled and she wiggled, but no luck. What are you going to do to my cereal? Take him to the milk aisle and pour milk inside the box until he's soggy. Oh, take the grapefruit slices. Don't make my cereal soggy. That's a good little green. She used her magic, but the slippers wouldn't budge. Stupid Splenda. She has sugar glued them on with magic. Please don't soggy my cereal. Total was running to get off the shelf, and he knocked the witch off. He then shook his box loudly, and the others found him. The drinking straw man hollered at the group. Quick, hold me steady while I get the spill magic powder. The straw man sucked in a bunch of the powder, and then, when his package was full, he began blowing it all over the witch's spill. The witch began to scream, I'm dusting! I'm dusting! Who would have thought that you and your friends who are full of goodness could defeat me? What a store! What a store! The monkey butt powder looked at the pile of dust and said, She's powdered. You dried her up. Dorothy said innocently, We didn't mean to powder her. We just wanted her to stop being so mean to us. Someone please untie me. Dorothy then remembered the gizzard. Her bottle. May we have it? Please, and take it with you. The group returned to the gizzard with the bottle. Please, sir, we've done what you ask. We spill magicked her. You powdered her, eh? Very genius. Let's get these wishes over with. Drinking straw man, getting a milkshake isn't hard. You just have to be patient for someone to buy you who will make one. But since you were brave and powdered the witch, here you go. All the straws got to sit in a giant milkshake. Straw man was so happy. He couldn't think of anything else that would make him happier. Thank you so much. Tin can, do you still want the artichoke heart? I want to be a good, decent can. A heart won't make you decent. A heart makes you an artichoke-filled can. You're a decent person already. You helped make Dorothy You helped Dorothy and were kind to her and her friends. You already have a non-physical heart. But since you request a physical heart, I grant you the artichoke heart. The gizzard jumped up and down in his package, and soon the label was changed to say, heart included. And in the center of the can was, in fact, a heart. Oh, thank you so much. Now, Lion Coffee, why do you want to be part of the Keurig family? I'm tired of Folgers and Maxwell House being bought the most. That's why. I want to be part of something popular. Very well, as you wish. Instantly, instead of a big can of Lion Coffee, a small box that said Keurig now sat. And as for you, young lady, there is a birthday balloon waiting for you in the land of the birthdays. Dorothy hopped over to the aisle, but when she was about to get in the balloon, Total began chasing a misplaced can of cat food. They ran away from the balloon and the birthday aisle, and when she went to chase him, she loosened the balloon, and it began floating away without her. Oh no! Come back! Please come back! But the balloon soared up to the ceiling, and it popped. Oh, now I'll never get home. Her friends heard the commotion and came over to her. Well, stay with us then, Dorothy. We all love you. I'd love to stay with you, but my aunt and uncle would be terribly sad. Oh, you don't need the balloon to get home, Dorothy. Splenda floated down on her bubblegum bubble. You can get yourself home. I can? Yes, of course you can. I didn't tell you because you wouldn't have believed me. All you need to do is squeeze the ruby grapefruit juice all over yourself and say, I want to go home. I want to go home. Dorothy was so excited she took the grapefruit slices into her hand and squeezed the juice quickly. Then she said goodbye to her friends. She flopped on Total cereal. And said, I want to go home. I want to go home. Then she fell backwards, and the darkness turned into all sorts of swirling colors, and when she opened her eyes, she was covered in bran flakes. Aunt Jackie breathed a sigh of relief when she saw her open her eyes. You're awake, dear. Oh, I'm so glad you're awake. Dorothy looked around to make sure it was real. I'm home. They sent me home. Oh, Aunt Jackie, it's so good to see you. I've been gone so long. I missed you, Uncle Funky. Total, we're back. We're back. And, oh, you spilled your bran flakes on me. Aunt Jackie, if I ever hate anything that happens here, I'm not going to complain ever again. I never want to leave here ever again. There's no place like this store. The end. So, for those of you wondering, the products that you can find on Walmart.com are the Lion's Coffee, the Munchkin Cups, the drinking straws. You know, they have artichoke heart cans, but they don't have no hearts in them. The Uncle Funky and the Aunt Jackie are hair care products. And so yeah, that's the whole Wizard of Oz, the Walmart version. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, that's all right. And I will see you next time for another quirky story. Have a good day.